Hello guys, so this video is going to be an art supply haul video. I had no idea I had to do an intro for this, so I decided, you know what, let's film my face, because I don't do enough of that on live streams for hours on end anyway. So just a little disclaimer, I'm not trying to brag or anything, it's just that I actually really like to watch art supply haul videos myself, and since I've brought a lot since I broke up from university, I thought, why not do one? I will say that some of these buys were because I needed the stuff and other stuff were completely impulsive. I have absolutely no idea how to do intros, so I really hope you enjoy this video. So the first item that I want to show you guys is this book. Now, this is not just about art supplies, this is also about inspiration, stuff that I buy that will be related to my artwork, and I brought this mainly for looking at different designs. I really like the way it is, and usually this book is quite expensive, but I found it at the Works for £7, and there's like so many different reference images that I could use, and I thought it was a really good book overall because it's full of illustrations, it's full of references to like Tim Burton and all, and it's called The Day of the Dead. So on Amazon this actually was about £16. I think the original retail price was £32, but I found this at the Works for £7. Also on the same trip to the Works I brought these. Now these were incredibly cheap. They still have the price sticker on them because I just don't like taking the stickers off, because when I take the stickers off, 9 times out of 10 there's always like some residue left behind, so I'm like, it's just not worth it. So with these I decided to get these because I want to do a cheaper art supply challenge at some point, and I think these will be a great addition to them. Plus I've been using these in my sketchbook because it's easier and quicker just to grab these rather than go to my Copic case and just pull out so many markers, and plus these don't go through the page. So a major part of my whole haul is obviously going to be the sketchbooks. Now around this time of year, just after I've finished an academic year, I usually spend money on restocking up sketchbooks because I've used them throughout my university year. After university I can just buy sketchbooks when I need them, but I usually stock up on them. Now I brought a few different brands and a few different types of sketchbooks. These particular ones, the ones on top, so these canvas sketchbooks and also these travel journal sketchbooks, these are from the brand Sea White of Brighton. At the moment this is currently my sketchbook, obviously not this particular one, but it is exactly the same kind, and I'm so happy to have a spare one for when I finish that other one. And I will use this as my train journal because I like to draw while I'm on the train. I brought an A5 version of it as well because sometimes the A6 version is a little bit too small. Plus I've never had an A5 version of this particular sketchbook, and I think it's really cool to have one of those. Now these sketchbooks do come with paper that is 130 GSM, exactly the same as the other one. They have 128 pages, which is a bit of a weird number for a sketchbook, I'm not gonna lie, but I do really like these because I do really like the fact that they can actually shut like this. They also have a little flap at the back so you can hold any kind of loose drawings that you do that are that size. This one also has it as well, obviously at this particular size. So these sketchbooks are from the brand Sea White of Brighton as well. These are actually sketchbooks in packs of 3s. They are just the very bare basic of sketchbooks. These sketchbooks have 150 GSM white paper rather than 130. So the paper type is a bit thicker and a bit more weighty. Sea White of Brighton is actually a brand that my university uses religiously, so I thought, why not buy CY to Brighton sketchbooks. They are white cartridge paper and they come in packs of 3s. Now I brought two sets because I was stocking up. Also, I need to do development sketchbooks for some projects, so I'm really looking forward to using these, and I will actually get one out to show you what they look like. So this kind of sketchbook is actually very, very bare bones. I like the fact that they have this kind of like recycled paper on the front and natural brown card cover rather than a black cover. Now I have brought black cover ones before in a pack of 3. I brought an A5 set, and I've also brought an A4 set of black ones of these, but I think the brown ones are just really, really nice. And also I can add a custom cover if I'm really feeling ambitious. They'd also make really, really good things to sell if I end up doing anything like that in the future. So the next thing that I brought was this toned grey sketchbook. Now I've never owned the toned grey sketchbook from Strathmore. Now we don't really have Strathmore here in the UK, so Amazon, you are my saviour. So with the toned grey, you can obviously see it's grey, and I like how the texture is. And I actually have a little toned tan sketchbook, but I thought that I would need the bigger surface area because sometimes I work better when I draw bigger, whereas sometimes I draw better when I draw smaller. So I really wanted a different size so I could get different results. But not only did I buy this one, I also brought the tanned one because with the small tone tan sketchbook, I was having trouble trying to decide what I wanted to do with it. So I brought the bigger one just so I could have that option of going bigger if I really, really wanted to. And also, of course, I can cut the paper smaller if I need to. My teachers actually really like the fact that I work on different types of paper, so it's actually really cool to have a bigger version so my teachers don't moan at me for working so small all the time. So now we come to the main event of this whole video. What you've all come for, let's be honest. The Copic Chow Set E. Now, I brought these from Cult Pens. Now, I brought these because I was actually in need of refills. And I saw that they actually carried the sets of pens as well. Now, I thought, what sets could I get? Hypothetically speaking, what sets could I get that do not have duplicates? Is there any sets of Copic Chows that I could get without duplicates? And literally this was the only set without any duplicates to my set. And I was like, well, I'm buying it anyway. It was one of those incredibly impulsive buys, but I do not regret buying them because I've been really into getting Copic markers so I could flesh out my collection. Because yes, I have a lot of markers, but a lot of my markers have like very bright tones. I've said this before about the Copic D set, but I feel like the Copic Chow D and E set actually have more muted colours. So like the 36E and the 36D have more dull colours, so I can actually do backgrounds properly and have nice blending, and that's exactly what I wanted. Now the main reason why I went there was to get refills, and that's exactly what I got. I got 5 refills because some of the colours that I was getting refills for were running out like a long time ago. So I decided now is the time to do it. Now is the time to get Copic refills, because Cult Pens was actually the cheapest place to get Copic refills, and when you spend over £10 on Cult pens, they give you free delivery if you're from the UK. So I'm really happy. So because I spent over £40 on Cult pens, I actually got a free mechanical pencil, and I got the Uni Kurotoga in 0.5. Now, I've already got this particular pencil, but I kind of wanted another colour. Now, this is one of my previous ones that I had. I also got another one of these dark grey ones from Scrawlerbox. So I have two of these dark grey ones. I actually got a blue one for free when I got all of this. And I can't find that blue one currently. So just to show you what the pencil looks like, this is just the dark grey version. Just imagine this in blue, and then you'll know what I got for free. Two random items that I did get was this. I got a T-square. I do have a big T-square, and it's a helix one, but I wanted a smaller one so I could use it in my sketchbooks and also on the go a lot better. And I also got this. It is a wooden hand. Now this particular thing crosses the lines of creepy and cool. And it's kind of weird. I've been playing with it, as in like putting it into different shapes and seeing what I could do with it, and it's kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I brought it so I could have a better idea of hand movements. Now, it kind of is bad in a way because there's no joint here, so the thumb always stays like this with the hand, so you can only do quite constrictive hand movements with it. But I think it's pretty cool. I think it's actually really nice to have more of an average hand, even though it's a smaller scale version of an average hand, because I have small hands. I'm not gonna lie, my hands are tiny compared to regular people, but it makes my tiny hands actually look average. So the next few things were brought purely on impulse, especially when I was trying to fill up my Amazon cart, and I had seen these in my recommended and I was like, Zoe, don't do it, don't do it. Somebody should really confiscate my Amazon account, let's just say that. So I actually saw these. Now these popped up on my Amazon a lot, and I've seen a lot of tips and tricks and like hacks about having a magic eraser, and I've really been curious about trying these out. Now these get recommended on my Amazon a lot because I love watercolour and I love painting with watercolour, so these are recommended a lot. There's actually 4 of them. I don't need 4 of them, but they just came in a pack of 4. I didn't realise it at the time. I thought it was just going to be one little one, but obviously not. So these next 2 items actually came together. Now I could have brought this paint set on their own, but for an extra £1, there was like one with a detailing water brush, and I thought, why not? So these are actually the Gansai Tambi pearl colours. They are very similar in packaging to the starry colours. Now these ones were a birthday present that I got back in March. So these ones are the pearl colours, and they are different because they come in different colours. They're not just gold. Now when you get these actually look like chocolates, and I remember when the ones for my birthday came through the post and my mom thought they were chocolates, but these ones are obviously in colour. Now the only disadvantage with these, if you already have the starry colours, is the fact that the white colour on the end is exactly the same. But these are probably going to be... But the white is probably going to be incredibly easy to use up. So it's understandable and it's not that bad. I just wish this was a purple rather than a white, so that way there'd be more variety between the sets. But I don't really mind. It's very, very pretty. So for this set and the brush, it was £13.99 for it, and I'm really, really happy. The brush, let me just show you the brush that comes with it, is... The brush is actually yellow. It's kind of like a middle size. It's a really, really weird size. It's not like the tiniest water brush I have, but it's also not the biggest water brush I have. It's like a very medium size water brush in terms of like scale. In terms of tip, it has a very small, tiny tip. I don't know. Yeah, so a tip like that. It's called the detailer tip, but I don't know. I think I have seen brushes with like a smaller tip than that, but I'm not going to question it. These actually look incredible, and there is actually a clip of me painting these into my sketchbook as a little swatch. So lastly, we actually have two books, and they're both from Holly Brown. Now, I got this comic thumbnails book because I've been thinking maybe to do some comics or like comic development in the future. So if there's any kind of ideas that I have in mind, I can use this book. There's a character development section, a notes section, and then literally the rest of the book is just, it looks like this, essentially. It's kind of like its very own blank canvas, but with layouts and places where you put notes and stuff like that. You can go absolutely nuts with it, and I brought the little one rather than the bigger one because that way I can just focus on smaller projects if I do have any ideas. Now, I'm not saying I am going to be making a comic, but I feel like if that is something that I need to do, whether for a university project or whether something that I want to do in my spare time just to come up with a story, a short story, most likely, this will be incredibly helpful. So it's just got this design on it, and I really, really like the way these actually look. So the last thing we have from Holly Brown is the sketchbook compilation book. I've been meaning to buy this for a very long time, to the point where she is actually thinking of doing another sketchbook compilation book, which she will also have my money for, because I've been wanting to buy these books for a while. Let's just say that. I watch her vlogs, I watch her YouTube channel. Let's just say she's probably one of my favourite artist YouTubers, and I just want to support her in every way possible. So I'm very patiently waiting for Purgatory to come as well, and I'm really, really excited about having the sketchbook compilation. This is so inspiring. There's so many levels of detail because you can actually see there's a lot of ink work in here, but there's also a lot of works that she's worked up, like these. I'm not going to spoil it all, but there's also a lot of rough work in here as well. You can see pencil marks and stuff like that, and I think it's really cool. That is actually where I'm going to be ending this video. I hope you enjoyed it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!